What's up? This is Arcadian Warrior, and I'm here to show you how I installed a roof rail on my Honda CR-V. Now keep in mind, I am not a professional, so if you see me doing something real janky, that's because I am just a do-it-yourselfer who is reading the instructions and doing the best I can. So is they ask for you to use a pry tool. I don't own any pry tools or any plastic trimmers or anything like that. So I got a fork and I wrapped some tape around the end, and I'm going to use that to pry up on my rails. So let's go see what happens. Alright, so my brother is a really big handyman. So he's the one who's taught me that you don't always have to buy the tools that they recommend to do things. On the instructions, it tells you that you need to pry this piece loose. So here's the thing about this is that I tried, and honestly I have no idea how to get this out. So what I did instead is I came over here and I pried up this piece, and I was able to actually get this piece loose right here, the rubber, and it disconnected. So let me try to do that on camera. All right. So as you can see, instead of taking this piece off, which was near impossible for me, I went ahead and I took this piece off. And on these 2018 CR-Vs, once you get the first couple of clips out, this part just kind of slides off. You need to keep this part, but this plastic part is no longer going to be of any use. And so if you read the instructions, they say that you want to carefully remove these tabs and not bend this part. I'm going to tell you something right now. This is going to be thrown away. So honestly, if you tear these tabs out, it doesn't matter. But there's one step that I forgot to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And that step is taping down 100 millimeters from the start. I'm glad I remembered right now, so I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to get some tape and I'm going to show you what that's watching this video. I am improvising this, so I apologize. But this is supposed to be the very first step you do. Use a piece of painter's tape, and then you're going to measure 100 millimeters from the start of this glass. Now honestly, what I did is I just measured 4 inches because I wasn't trying to be too precise, and because the roof rail actually covers a lot of it. So I got my tape. And you want to get about 4 inches or 100 millimeters, which is I believe 3.93, 3.94 inches. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I have my tape marked off at 4 inches. Again, if you're watching this video, this is the stuff that you're supposed to take first. You're not supposed to do this afterwards like I did. I think I was just a little bit too much of in a rush because I already have one rail installed, so I felt the need to go ahead and get this one done. So next step is to go ahead and take all these little clips out. All right, so now for these clips. Again, you are not going to need any of these clips. So if you break them in the process, it doesn't matter because the rail is going to cover them. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly work my way down, using my handy dandy pry tool to help pop these out. So see, this one came out perfectly, and this one right here broke off. And I don't really care because, again, you have to take them out anyways, and you're not going to keep them for the roof rail installation. Here's another thing the instructions tell you to do that I am not going to do. Per the instructions, they want you to remove these 2 clips right here. I'm not going to do that because these clips need to go back in. So I don't want to risk breaking these clips the way that I broke this one. So what I'm going to do instead is, I have it right here. I have this last part with the tape pulled up. So I'm going to go ahead and put my blanket down. I'm going to get the box to prop up this rail, and I'm going to cut it as close as I can to that mark. So I have my box taped up. So again, if you're watching this video, I am not a professional. I am not a technician. I don't work for Honda. I'm just a regular do-it-yourselfer. So if this looks janky to you, I apologize. That's just how it looks. So you want your box taped up, and I have this piece right here above the blanket, and this is where you're going to do your cut. So the instructions recommend using an air saw or a hacksaw of some sort. I'm going to take my brother's advice, and I'm going to use this, I'm going to use something a little bit bigger than that. So I'll try to set the camera up to where you can see me cut the piece. And before I do it, you are supposed to have safety goggles. I can't find any safety goggles in the garage, so I'm just going to cut it. But do not be dumb like me. Please use safety goggles when using these tools. I can already imagine some like super mechanic people being like, wow, the way that he used that tool was terrifying. It is what it is. On to the next remaining pieces, you want to take them out. Me personally, I just kind of use my knife tool or screwdriver to pry these out. The instructions have some fancy technique you're supposed to do. I just kind of force them out if we're being honest. So I'll check in with you in a second after I get these all pulled out, and we can place our rail in there. Oh, and by the way, for anyone wondering, I did use black Plastidip on this. I did not paint it. I did Plastidip because I should be able to touch it up nicely whenever I feel like it, as opposed to using paint where it might be a little bit more challenging for me. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know, it was the advice I was. All right, so I have all my pieces taken out. So you want to make sure for the roof rails that these little guys right here are facing inwards towards the vehicle. That's how you can make sure they're the correct ones. So you're just going to literally place these over their little sockets. I totally have this on up. Okay, I thought it was backwards for a second. All right, so this is placed in. So now you're going to grab these little guys, and you're gonna put them in. Now, I am going to show you what it looks like, but I'm just not gonna have all the bolts screwed in, because I am gonna put crossbars in as well, which is a whole different thing for me to experiment. Those are in. Now, the last step is to put these little guys into the top and everything like that. But I do have some cross rails that I'm gonna put in, or some cross racks. So I will give you, I'm gonna try to put in the first cross rack, and if I do it well enough, then I will also record how to do that. So if this video ends here, it means I was unsuccessful. If the video continues, that means I figured the cross rails out, or the cross racks out. I don't know what I'm talking about. After a long bout of trial and error, I was finally able to get these installed. So this is one of those self-explanatory things, but I made a few mistakes. So first things first, these little things down here, or that were here, you see that? So take those out if you, all right, a lot of noise. If you plan on putting crossbars in, take those little divots out before you do your Plastidip, because it made it kind of annoying to remove them. And also, the only hard thing about this is that the space you have to screw those screws in is a very tight space, but besides that, it's pretty easy. So let's go ahead and go do it. First things first, these crossbars do tell you left and right, at least the ones I have. So go ahead and make sure that these are lined up properly. Okay, and then once they're in place, per the directions, it says per the directions, it says to get the right side a little tight first. So I'm going to put the screws in on the right side. So you're going to get your screws, your washers and whatnot, and go ahead and put them in. And I'm not tightening them down all the way. I'm just tightening them down just a little bit so that they hold in place, so that I can go over and do the same thing on the left side. And literally, I don't know if I have to show this whole video, but you're just going to get these little screws in, which again can be a little bit of a hassle. And then once those are in snug on all 4 parts, if you need to move this around to make sure they lock in correctly, once they're snug in all 4 parts, just use a drill to screw them in tight, and then you're good to go. That's literally all there is to this. Oh, and once you have drilled all the pieces in, these are just little covers that go on, so it'll look like this. And once you have those covers on, you're good. I will show you a finished product as soon as I'm done. All right, and here is the finished product. So that is the best I could do. Again, please remember guys, I am not a professional by any means, so if that was weird, I apologize, but I got it done and I think she looks pretty good. So if you like it, give the video a thumbs up or whatever it is. If you don't like it, I understand. Have a good day.